Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing this morning? Good morning. Happy Sunday to y'all. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE8, aka 13th Wonder of the World, and welcome to the Point of View on Sunday, November the 3rd, and it is 1:25 a.m. in the morning. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M. Breezy. Hope he get better. Kind of under the weather. Hope my little homie get well soon. Shout out to my niece Naya. Shout out to my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for listening to the Point of View. Man, there's so much to talk about. I'm strictly on the wrestling tip. Sidebar we'll talk about first before I get into the wrestling. Tomorrow I'll talk about the football. Well, later on today, I'll talk about the football and things. For those of you that worry about me, I just want y'all to know that I'm trying to get better. I had another injury to my leg and my foot, but I'm getting better, getting well. God's helping me through this. Sometimes it get hard, sometimes it get tough, but I'm not giving up because I know that the man upstairs is always there for me, and he will not put nothing on nobody more than they can bear. So, it's a setback, but my setback is starting to become into a redemption story. So as long as you got a redemption story after the setback, you good, man. Get vindication and, some revelation and dedication and preparation and all these things right here that you're trying to get in life. Don't worry about it, man. The man upstairs, God, see it all, man. And if you really legit about what you're trying to do, if you really legit about trying to get yourselves together, legit about being, good at what you do, and it takes practice, but the good Lord sees all through it. And that's all I'm trying to do right now with this podcast thing, trying to get better at it. When I get it together, it ain't gonna be nobody but the grace of God that helped me through it, man. And I thank God for my friends that allow me to do this, man. Especially my boy B.Ray, appreciate him very much. He do the music tip, I do the sports broadcast, but our circles are gonna intertwine, man. When we start hitting it to the point where we gonna have everything we need, man, it's gonna be all good. And I speak that into existence, man, because the point of view, along with the point and the point of view, all this is gonna be combined, and all this is gonna be a big conglomerate. It's gonna be togetherness, man. And when it gets to that point where it gets big, look out, America, we coming. I'm speaking that to the existence. I'm speaking that for it to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? I was reading, I ain't gonna lie, I was into my Bible, man. I was reading my Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got to, and I know this is not a religious pod, but I just want to share something with you guys before I get into the point of view with the storylines and the whole story about what happened in the professional wrestling yesterday. But I was in my Bible, man, reading something, man. And it's true. It say, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Sometimes, man, our understanding ain't what it is, bruh. Sometimes we can think that we doing the right thing and all the time we ain't, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just want people to know that always it's true, it's good and true to trust your instincts. But the good Lord has always got the better of all our instincts, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we make decisions that are not the right decisions at times. But, you know, we all are works in progress, man. That's all we are, man. It don't matter if you don't pray every day and things like that, bruh. Guess what? Brothers and sisters, excuse me. Let me say this. We are all works in progress because every day we trying to progress to get better and better in our lives. And the good Lord see our progress and he gonna help us to get our progress to where we need to be, man. Some people don't want to hear that, but it's just true. I'm just giving you all a side note and a word of encouragement before I get into the business at hand. Keep that in mind, folks. But other than that, thank you all for checking on me. All those of you that have been checking on me, I'm fine. I'm getting better. And by the grace of God, by next month, hopefully by the end of this month, by next month, I'll be back on my feet the way I want to be. Now, let's talk about the first thing before I get into the wrestling again. I want to talk about Vince Carter's retirement ceremony in Toronto last night. I think Toronto won that game too, if I'm not mistaken. Spider hit a buzzer beater with Cleveland to beat the Milwaukee Bucks again. The Bucks are like 1-5 on the season. Is Dame and Dame and Greek Freak are doing what they supposed to do, man. It's the rest of the team that's not doing what they supposed to do. This is why they're 1-5, 1-6, or however. They only won one game, man. And it's tough to see that because I know that those boys are better. They're more talented than what people think they are. They are talented, man. They are a talented team. They're one of the top teams, I thought, in the Eastern Conference that had a shot at beating Boston. It don't look like it right now. I know the season is still early, but come on, Doc. You got to figure this out, man. Because if you don't, then you already know what's going to happen, man. And it's tough. I hate to see Doc in that situation right now because he's got two of the best players in the game in Giannis and in Dame Lillard, man. But I don't know what's going on in Milwaukee, man. I think they need to make some trades, man. I think they need to come off they need to get another playmaker, man. Middleton's out, and I know he's out with an injury, but you're going to have to figure out guys like Connaughton, and you might have to trade some of that old core of that championship team that you guys had, you know? And I know sometimes that's not what you want to do, but sometimes you got to do what's better for your team. If you go 1-10, if you start the season off 2-8 and 2-10 and all this here, then guess what's going to happen to Doc Rivers? There's a huge chance that he may get fired. Because Giannis is already talking that if they don't do what they need to do, he's leaving. There is a room out there saying he wants to leave. I don't know how true that is, but I did hear that. And the Golden State's looking like he might want to come to the Bay. I'm just saying that would be a great place for him to play with Steph Curry. Steph Curry's got like what 3-4 years left in the league, or three years at tops. So you got to figure out what you're going to do with Steph. How you going to do that with, if you want to win another championship, if he wants to win another championship, then yeah, you go after Greek Freak. I'm just saying, man, Milwaukee needs to realize that this man has already brought you guys a championship because the only other guy that brought the city of Milwaukee a championship was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let's not forget that. Jabbar, the great Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, brought the Milwaukee Bucks a championship. That's why he's a six-time NBA champion. He won 5 with the Lakers, but 1 with the Milwaukee Bucks. Then you think about this. In 2021, Giannis, a 6'11", let's call it 7-foot guy, comes out there and he helps you guys, your city, win another championship. Where have they been since then? They have not been where they need to be. They've been getting put out in the first round. Injuries been happening to these guys in the playoffs, and it's just tough right now because Lillard is healthy, Giannis is healthy, and you guys has only won 1 game since the season started. It's tough. It is tough. And they should have beaten Cleveland tonight because Cleveland, I think, is still undefeated. Let me just say that they have a great team so far. I think Cleveland will be one of the teams that be one of those top 4 or 5 teams in the Eastern Conference. And I say that now because I had Orlando in that mix, but because of what happened to Pablo, he's going to be out for a while. So that means that Cleveland has a chance to go up. I still think that they're going to trade Darius Garland either at All-Star break or probably either when the season's over, I think, or let him go or whatever. I think he's not going to be there because if they want to improve, then I think they're going to have to make a move as well. But that's here and now. Right now, they're one of the best teams in the NBA. There's a lot of great teams that are losing to teams that are in rebuilding mode. You know, excuse me, I was drinking some Sprite. But I'm just telling you, face the facts of this, people. The thing about it is, I see what is going to happen in the NBA. There's going to be teams that you thought that didn't have a shot at the playoffs are going to be in the playoffs. It's just that plain and simple. Lakers won Friday night against Toronto barely. They let them come back after having them up by 27 points. So, you know, and let me say this. I thought they should have had their retirement when the Lakers were in town to play the Raptors. And I know exactly why they didn't do it. Because everybody was going to be, you know, focusing on Bronny and LeBron, I think. And they were already talking about, we want Bronny. So, yeah, that's why they did it. That's why they waited to the next game the following night to put Toronto on and give Vince Carter his flowers. And by the way, this is another thing I want to talk about. Vince Carter was one of the great, he's a Hall of Famer. Vince Carter was one of the greatest high flyers to ever play the game of basketball. He was a scorer. He was high flying. He gave the NBA 22 years. I think he played 21 years, 22 years of NBA. He played, you know, from 98 all the way to 2021. 99, excuse me. I think it was 99 to 2021. He was good, but the only problem that Vince Carter had was he could never get to an NBA championship, have an NBA championship run. And that was the only thing that Vince didn't do in his career. He did win a gold medal. I'm not going to lie and say he didn't. He did win a gold medal back in 2000. He also he was in a bunch of All-Star games. He won a slam dunk contest in 2000 and stuff like that. But he goes down as one of the greatest high flyers in the game of basketball. I just wish that he had a chance to play for a championship. He never got a chance to go to the NBA Finals. And that was one of the things that, you know, because that's one thing that Carmelo Anthony's gonna get. He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame as well, but he's gonna probably go on the strength of Carmelo Anthony, yes, but he never got a shot at a championship run or nothing like that. So that's gonna be the only thing that he's gonna regret. But as far as Vince Carter, yeah, man, one of the greatest high flyers that ever played the game of basketball. Um, and I want to give a shout out to all the other Hall of Fame inductees from last month when they had the Hall of Fame ceremony. They had I can't remember. I think Simone Augustus from in Louisiana from LSU. She was in there because she's one of the greatest WNBA players to play the game, a champion. Um, of course, my boy back in the day, Big Shot Chauncey Billups, um, one of the greatest big shot guys in the game, head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Um, he was able to do some things as well. I liked him because that Detroit run where they won the championship was one of the greatest runs of his career. You know, Chauncey Billups had it, man. Um, and I don't care what anybody says. Chauncey Billups had it, man, and nobody can't take that away from Big Shot Billups. He was good, man. He was good when he was shooting that ball. Phenomenal, man. He was a phenomenal player, and he was a part of the Hall of Fame ceremony as well. Michael Cooper, of course, Showtime. Michael Cooper won a championship. Won championships with the Lakers, but I think he also won as a WNBA coach as well. He did good himself. I forgot who the coach was. I don't think it was Pop. I forgot what coach it was, but uh, congratulations to all of them. But congratulations to Vince Carter for getting his jersey retired in Toronto. I wonder, are they gonna do it in New Jersey? I mean Brooklyn. Excuse me. I keep thinking about the New Jersey Nets, but I wonder if Brooklyn gonna give him a retirement as well, because he played some years there as well. Vince played around the league a lot: Dallas, Memphis, Atlanta. He was on some teams. He was like they said, half man, half amazing. Um, and I don't even want to talk about the Dwayne Wade statue. To me, I think they messed over him. I don't like what they did to do D Wade and his statue. I think they need to remake it. To me, in my opinion, because it looks like crap. You know, uh, and it just terrible. But he likes it. But it's terrible. It's terrible, man. And it's getting trolled every time. They even use that statue as a troll in a football game Friday night on ESPN to try to make the opposite team miss the field goal by showing a picture of that Dwayne Wade statue. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But that's exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that was crazy. That was crazy to see that. I seen that highlight. That was crazy. But anywho, enough about that. I'm not going to get into college football today. I know there was a lot of teams, a lot of ranked teams that got beat. So LSU and Alabama, they don't play until this coming weekend. Michigan State lost, so that figures. Tomorrow the Patriots play the Titans. The Patriots have a chance to beat the Titans, man, because I don't know who their quarterback is, man. I don't know who they're going to have out there. Oh, man. You'll be interested to see the Falcons and the Cowboys play as well. That's going to be interesting to see. Can Dallas stop Kirk Cousins, or are they going to still be on the downward spiral? I think the downward spiral starts again tomorrow, because if they can't stop Drake and all those boys out there for for the Falcons, man, they're going to be in trouble. They are going to be in trouble because the Falcons are expected to have a high playoff push. Dallas, I don't know, but I'm going to leave that alone. I'll talk about that later on. Let's get into some wrestling, man. I watched AEW Collision, which was a great show as well. And I also watched the Crown Jewel pay-per-view earlier, 12 o'clock yesterday. Man, I'm going to say this. The matches were quality great. All of them. Every last match they had on there, from top to the bottom of the card, was absolutely phenomenal. And a lot of people had mixed feelings about it when I listened to the YouTube people talk about it. Some of them said they didn't like the pay-per-view. Some of them said that only 2 matches were the best ones on there. Some people say that the wrong people won at the pay-per-view. I'm going to give my opinion on that in a minute. I think that by them being still in Saudi Arabia, not Saudi Arabia. Is it Saudi Arabia? Yes, Saudi Arabia, excuse me. In Jeddah for Monday Night Raw, you're going to see more of this interaction because I think what's happening now is they're going to be overseas. They're going to be out of the United States for a couple, because I think they have live events that they're going to have after Raw. And I think SmackDown is going to be out of the country as well this Friday. I know that NXT is going to be in Philadelphia at the old ECW arena. And I think that's going to be Wednesday because Tuesday is voting. You guys make sure you go out there and go vote for who do you want to be the president of the United States. Kids are going to be out of school. NBA is not going to be on that night. This election is very important because they have a chance to put a woman in office, or they have a chance to have another run with Donald Trump. So we'll see. But anyway, let me start talking about the Crown Jewel, then I'll get to the AEW Collision. Crown Jewel's first match was the old bloodline against the new bloodline. Jacob Fatu was in the match, but Tama Tonga was out of the match. Tonga Lowe was in the match along with Solo and Jacob Fatu against Roman, Jay, and Jimmy the Usos. When Jimmy Uso came out to the ring and started yeeting, the crowd was into it. Roman Reigns looking like, really? What is that? You know, there's some tension between Jay Uso and Roman Reigns still because Jay didn't even want to tag him in at first in the match. But to make a long story short, the match was okay. The match was a good match. Roman Reigns got pinned. That usually doesn't happen in matches. Solo beats Roman Reigns, and the new bloodline defeats the original bloodline. So what does that happen now? What happens now? I'll tell you exactly what happens. Sammy comes out to the ring, tries to help, want to be down with the old bloodline, and guess what happens? He accidentally hula kicks Roman Reigns. Jimmy thinks it was on purpose. You got to remember, guys, the story with how Roman used to play Sammy when Sammy was in the bloodline the first time, and the great match they had in Montreal at the Elimination Chamber where Sami Zayn came this close, very close to becoming the WWE champion, and he got beat by Roman. But Here's my deal about that, and I'll say this. Roman still was mad because how KO and how Sammy defeated him in Solo for when they were the tag team champions last year. See what I'm saying? So that history is still in there, and we're gonna see what happens. But what's gonna happen is Sammy's gonna come around because of Jay, and they're going to end up in the War Games. It's going to be those four against them. I think it's going to be a four-man team. It's going to be the bloodline from, was it 2023? Yes, I think it was 2022, excuse me, when they were in the match against, who was on the opposite team? KO, Drew McIntyre, and no, Drew McIntyre. Yes, Drew McIntyre was on that team with KO that year, where the Bloodline demolished KO because of Sammy and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see. But this is a different go around for the Bloodline because the Bloodline are all equal. Roman does not have that type of pull that he had early up in the year where he had people doing work for him, where he had Solo having his back all the time. It's not happening this go around. This go around right here, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's going around this time. It's Roman the same, Jay the same, Jimmy the same. There's no pushing lackeys, none of that. There ain't none of that right hand man, no flunky type stuff. That's what Jay told him on SmackDown Friday. Ain't no more of that. We're all equal. We're going to be equal. If you want this thing to go right, it got to be equal. But something's going to end up happening, man. It's going to be something after this War Games at Survivor Series. Something big's going to come out this situation with these guys. I think you go into WrestleMania and you have a one-on-one match between Solo and Roman. I said that let me change my mind about that. I think you go into the Royal Rumble or go at Saturday night's main event with the match between Roman and Solo. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out if who's going to win the Raw. This is the big question. And I know this is 2 months ahead, but this is the time that you need to be thinking about this. Who's going to win the Royal Rumble? There's speculations that The Rock may win his second Royal Rumble after 20 years, 25 years. Listen to me closely. They're thinking about having The Rock win the Royal Rumble. This is what I heard on the sheets. I don't know how true this is. They want Rock to win the Royal Rumble because they want Rock to main event WrestleMania along with Roman and Cody. So, but the question is, will it be Cody versus The Rock by itself, or will it be Roman versus The Rock versus Cody? That's a thing. Here's another match. If you don't get that match right there between Roman, Cody, and The Rock, you go Cody versus The Rock for the WWE Championship. Okay, that's one scenario. Here's another scenario. Solo versus Roman one-on-one at WrestleMania. Because that would be a great build-up match. You can put Jacob Fatu versus Jey Uso. That's another match that you can set up at WrestleMania. See, the Bloodline's going to be involved in all. They've got to top what they did this past year at WrestleMania. This past WrestleMania was one of the greatest, in my book, the greatest WrestleMania of all time, because nobody expected what they expected at that WrestleMania, man. That main event between Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody was the greatest tag team match in WrestleMania history. And I know there were some great tag matches at WrestleMania and some great matches. But that match right there, it was phenomenal. No pun to AJ Styles. You could not book that better. And then for Cody to go ahead on the next night and win the title from Roman, phenomenal. AJ Styles, great stuff. But that's the first match that happened tonight, well, last night at the Crown Jewel. Second match was, of course, like I said, Solo, Jacob, and Tonga Low wins. They won the match. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team, Women's Tag Team title match was next. Everybody knew that Bianca and Jay was going to win. Their stories are getting stale. A lot of people hate the women tag team division. I don't hate it because here's the deal. You need those women to be in those matches. And I'll tell you exactly why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because you have women there. All of those women are not going to become the women's champions. You've got to have these women in the tag team. I don't know why multiple tag team matches. And they threw that match in because it was supposed to be Raquel Rodriguez against Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley's out with an injury. So that's why they put the women's tag team match set for Crown Jewel, because they knew that Rhea Ripley was going to be injured. That's why they did it. But Bianca and Jay is doing a great job as the women tag team champions. They went up against some great competitors. Shout out to Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. They got their first experience of being at a big pay-per-view on the main roster. You know, Piper and Chelsea. They don't need to win any titles because they're entertaining the way they are. And of course, Io Sky and Kairi Sane, Damage Control, they're something serious too, man. But right now it's not about them. So you've got to figure out what's next. Who is the next tag team that's going to go up against Jade and Bianca? You got to remember, you just let Indy Hartwell go. You just let Tegan Knox go from the company. You just let Baron Corbin go, even though Baron Corbin is not in the women's division. But you just let those two. So you got to figure out who's the next team, women tag team that could go up against Jade and Bianca, because they just smashed 3 of your top tag teams in WWE. And 1 from NXT. So who is that? Who's going to be the next person on the totem pole? You got to figure it out. You can't put them up against Fire and Dawn because they've already beaten them. You could put them up against Chance and Carter, which would be a fun tag team match. You've got to figure out Lyra Valkyrie and Natalya. You could put them up in there. The thing about SmackDown, they don't have too many women's tag teams. They've only got Chelsea and Piper. You could put Meacham and B-Fab together if you want to make a tag team out of them. You know what I'm saying? You've got to think about this stuff. Who from NXT besides Jakara and Lash can go up against them? There's so many women tag teams in NXT. You can put Julia and Stephanie against Jade and Bianca. And that's why I said this. They should bring back the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. But congratulations to Jade and Bianca for winning a match. Also, Seth Rollins went against Bronson Reed. Man, I thought for sure that Bronson Reed was going to win this match. They did not let Bronson Reed win the match. They let Seth Rollins win the match. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of people online agree with me on this. I think Seth Rollins should have lost that match. Because how are you gonna make Bronson Reed a star if you have him losing against the top stars? Somebody said that, but this is a true statement. He should have lost that match tonight at Crown Jewel because Seth Rollins is over no matter if he's champion or not. Okay. And they're trying to reward him a world title match, which, let me say this, and I'm going to say this here, what's going to happen. He's not going to win. He's not going to win that fatal four-way tomorrow. If he wins that fatal four-way, then seeing him against Gunther would be best for business at Survivor Series. But I don't think he needs to win. I think you need to go with Damian Priest against Gunther for the World Heavyweight title at Survivor Series. That's just my opinion. I don't think Seth Rollins needs to win that. Sheamus is also in that match. I would love to see Sheamus go up against Gunther for the World Heavyweight title at Survivor Series. That would put Sheamus back in the main event push and put him back on the big say and on the big stage and give him the big challenge to beat the big boy named Gunther. Now I'll get to him in a little bit. But congratulations, Seth Rollins. I still think Seth Rollins should have lost that match against Bronson Reed. All right. On to the next match. The next match was thrown out. Randy Orton versus KO got threw out. They just had a match that they didn't even have a match. They were just beating on each other. Adam Pearce got the RKO. KO did an elbow drop off the top of the, I think it was off the top of the bleachers or somewhere on Randy Orton. And they had to carry those guys out. I don't think that's over with. I think that it's going to be Randy Orton against KO, probably a Survivor Series in a one-on-one match, just a preliminary match to see if KO can, win a match. I think KO can beat Randy Orton. I think you need to let him beat Randy Orton in one of the matches. Then when the rivalry comes to a head, Randy Orton wins the last match. That's what I think should happen with that there. But it's going to be interesting to see. That rivalry's not over. I don't think the rivalry's over with between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins is going to get attacked by Bronson Reed on Raw Monday. That's just my thought, because if he do win, it's going to be a great match between him and Gunther, because everybody wants to see what he can do against Gunther. He's never gotten in the ring and wrestled Gunther. But Gunther is going to be more determined now because of Crown Jewel, what happened at Crown Jewel. And like I said, I will get to him in a minute. But, that match was thrown out, KO and RKO, Randy Orton. Okay, congratulations to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan becomes the first ever Crown Jewel Women's Champion. She beat Nia Jax because of the Judgment Day. Because of the Judgment Day, they were able to outsmart Nia Jax, and Liv Morgan wins. Congratulations to Liv. She's not going to stop talking now. She's not going to stop laughing about it. Great achievement for that young lady. After all the time she's been injured and out and things like that, WWE sees a lot of value in her. And that's what I be trying to tell you. Liv Morgan is doing exactly what Rhea Ripley did last year, having a tremendous run as the Raw Women's Champion. And the thing about it is this: who is next for her since Rhea Ripley's out? You've got to get a contender on the under that can fight Liv Morgan, or bring back Alexa Bliss. It's just that plain and simple. Because Alexa Bliss can come back, can just throw herself back in the mix, not beat Liv Morgan, but make it interesting for Liv Morgan. You see what I'm saying? So that's part of what I said about that, because I do believe that's what it is. But congratulations to Liv Morgan for winning, winning the match against Nia Jax. Also the Fatal 4-Way match. I mean, not the Fatal 4-Way, excuse me. The triple threat match for the U.S. title. LA Knight against Carmelo versus Andrade for the U.S. title. The best match of the night. Let me just say that. One of the best matches of the night, 5 stars, because those boys left it in the ring. But yeah, LA Knight, yeah, was able to win the United States title. Now here's the deal. Let me talk about this for a second before I go to the main event. Now, let me break this down for a few minutes. Andrade and Carmelo lost. They did not win the U.S. title. What is next for them? You have to figure out what is next for them, because Andrade and Carmelo, they need to figure out something. Maybe they can team up and become tag team champions. Maybe they can team up and become a tag team, because there is nothing else they can do. They're not going to be the United States champion. LA Knight got that. And by the way, who is going to be his new #1 contender for the U.S. title? We'll figure that out soon, too. I still think you bring back Shinsuke Nakamura. AJ Styles does not need to fight LA Knight for the U.S. title. No. I'm just telling you guys if I'm a booker, that's what I see. If I'm booking the show, that's what I see. I see Carmelo and Andrade teaming up, and I see LA Knight going at it with Shinsuke Nakamura, who, by the way, folks, could be one of the favorites to win the Royal Rumble in 2025. But congratulations to LA Knight, yeah, for winning and retaining his United States title. Main event, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Great match, hard-hitting match. But in the end, Cody Rhodes, the golden boy in the business right now, won the match. I was shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked. I thought Gunther was going to win. I thought KO was going to come out there and interfere in the match. But Cody Rhodes won that match. And now that I think about it, it was more than right for him to win, because they wanted him to be the standard barrier, to be the first person to win the Crown Jewel Men's Championship match. And that's why they put it on Cody, for him to win. Congratulations to him and Liv for winning. You guys, I'm going to halt for a minute, and I'm going to come back with the AEW part of the point of view. God bless you. God keep you. I'm back with part 2 of the point of view on November the 3rd, Sunday morning, 2:10 a.m. in the morning. Shout out to the Point Place family, Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M. Breeze. I hope you feel better. Shout out to Nadia Nadia, my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the point of view early this morning. You guys check the point of view on YouTube. The views are there. Appreciate the views that come through and listen. Leave a couple of comments if you can, and tell me what else you want to talk about, or tell me what I need to do to improve on the point of view. Ladies and gentlemen, AEW Collision was a great show last night. Very, very new unks out for the title, for the show, and new unks out for the stories that they have going on. Start off with the celebration, the private party. Everybody was in the ring, all tag teams, including FTR, the Outrunners, all the tag teams that are in AEW basically was out there, except for the Acclaim. And private party took them 5 years in the company to get the job done. They finally did. Congratulations to Zay and Quinn. I'm hoping that these guys have a long run as the tag team champions. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna have a little mini run, and then they're probably gonna take the belts off of them, and they're probably not gonna win the belts again, or they probably ain't gonna have them for a while. So, enjoy Private Party as the tag team champions, folks. Um, Thunder Rosa versus Harley Cameron. That was a great match. Like a little, I don't know, some type of. It was like a false count, not a false count, but like a street fight. And Thunder Rosa actually beat Harley Cameron. It's time for Thunder Rosa to get back into some title contention, man. I think she needs to be fighting either, CEO, or fighting what's her name? Mariah May for the title. It's time for her to climb back up in the ladder. I know she's been out with injuries and things like that, but Thunder Rosa is one of the best wrestlers that AEW has in the women's division. Her and Serena Deeb and all those girls, they are what they have a strong women's division in AEW. I will give them that. But congratulations, Thunder Rosa. Kyle Fletcher versus Commander. Great match. Commander has all the skills in the world, man. He is a highlight in the ring. But right now they're going with Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher wants to team up with him and you know Takesha to go up against Ricochet and the partner. It might be Will Ospreay. I don't know. I think the match between Kyle and Will Ospreay is probably going to happen at their next pay-per-view, which is coming soon. I think it is. I think that they will fight. I don't know, but that was a great match between Fletcher and Commander, man. Uh, Daniel Garcia gets told no for a TNT title match against Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He keeps turning him down. I think Daniel Garcia will make a excellent TNT champion, but who knows when is that match going to happen? I think it's going to happen at the pay-per-view, but I don't know if he's going to win because right now Jack Perry's trying to figure out what's going on with the Young Bucks because it's now him and the Rainmaker. That's the only two guys left in the Elite right now is him and the Rainmaker. So we'll see what happens with that. But believe it or not, they're going to have that match. Roderick Strong beat Shane Taylor. Interesting to see. And also, and this is what's going to tie in with that. Brian Cage and Lance Archer. Oh, my God. Lance Archer and Brian Cage, a tag team in AEW. Those are some hefty guys, man. Those guys there are wow. They are big and strong, man. And I'll tell you this, they are a force to be reckoned with. And I think they're going to go up against the United Kingdom. But for Taven and Bennett, they better pack them a lunch. Because whenever that match happens, oh my God. Now, Taven and Bennett may win, but I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a fight between those four. That match is going to happen. AR Fox will go up against Nick Wayne next week. I think Nick Wayne is probably going to win that match against AR Fox. Great matchup because AR Fox, he's good in the ring as well as Nick Wayne. Leo Rush beat Daivari tonight. Great win by Leo. Leo is 2-0 this week. He won on Friday, and he also won last night. So congratulations, Leo Rush, for putting in that work and getting those numbers, putting in that work. No Diddy, but putting in, getting it in the ring, man, trying to make it happen, man. So congratulations to Leo Rush. John Moxley was in the building, and he did a lot of talking. And then inside of a match between Action Andretti and Pac, and Action Andretti stay getting beat. What is going on with him? He's probably going to be one of those that turn on Top Flight and be down with John Moxley's group. Because after a while, and I want people to understand it, this is what happens when you start getting it on it. Rarely do they keep the same people that they start off with. Like the bloodline, the first bloodline, they started off with Roman, Jimmy, and Jay and Solo. And they had Sammy, but they let Sammy left the group, and then it became the four until the Usos got tired of Roman Reigns. But I'm telling you, as this group goes on, it's going to start getting bigger. Believe me. Because MVP's trying to recruit people just as well as John Moxley's trying to recruit people. Just like Stokely Hathaway is trying to recruit people. There's a lot of recruiting going on in AEW. And Orange Cassidy punched Willa Yuta. They used Willa Yuta as a sacrifice in the group. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man. It's tough. Also, the Acclaim looks like they're trying to break them up, man. I wish that they wouldn't, because some tag teams need to stay tag teams forever. Don't break them up, man. Don't break them up. And I saw Johnny Mondo and Eminem. They're out there, man. I don't know what they got going on. Gonna be interesting to see what they do as well. The main event, Mariah May beat Anna Jay. Anna Jay had a great showing, but Mariah May is just champ, man. She's built different, man. And when she's built different, there's nobody that can really mess with her. Congratulations to Mariah May. I think Tony Storm's gonna come back and try to get it on with her in the ring, man, because that looks like what's gonna happen. That's why she has not been really defending that title against a bunch of people. You know, you gotta keep the subliminals when you watch wrestling, man, because there's a lot of subliminals in the ring that tells a story, and what the announcers and what the people be saying as well when you're watching wrestling, man. AEW was a good show, though, man. Getting ready for next Wednesday. It's going to be AEW versus NXT, because both of them, I think, coming on at the same time. I think one probably come on a little later. But it's going to be interesting to see. They're going to go head-to-head because of the voting on Tuesday. I think a lot of things are going to be closed, as well as sports. We'll find out who our next president is this coming Tuesday. But other than that, God bless you. God keep you. I'm out. You guys enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your night. Pray for me and I'll pray for you. God bless you. Good night.